obviously Iran we'll have to talk about. First, I think with Israel, I think being the common denominator there as well. What are your thoughts on what's happening in Gaza? Do you think Israel is committing genocide? Is that a word you use? Where do you fall kind of in that conversation?
Yeah, no, there's no doubt in my mind that Israel is committing genocide. We knew that from last September, October, when the UN Special Rapporteur for Human Rights put out the report that said that, right? And the United Nations is the expert on that, and they cited mass starvation. They cited an intentional and purposeful destruction of civilian life, including attacks on schools and hospitals. They made a very clear report, and so we know that, but we also knew that before that report came out because we were watching and we were listening, and we saw, right? And so a lot of politicians won't say that, and that's one of the things that's kind of shocking to me about the lack of political courage in this moment, because I think it's pretty clear and easy to say, yes, Israel is committing a genocide in Gaza. And also there's been a rise in anti-Semitism, and that is horrific, and that should not be tolerated. And yes, Netanyahu is committing war crimes. Donald Trump is committing war crimes, but that doesn't say anything about the Israeli people or Jewish Americans, or the fact that our president is a war criminal, I don't think says anything about you and I, And so I think that it's really important to be able to hold the complexity for that, and also to be able to say people bring different perspectives to it, but that's mine. And for me, when the United Nations calls something a genocide, that's the standard of what I believe is true. So
Do you think that we should be giving aid to Israel while they are committing
no,
war crimes?
no, we should be following, I don't know, our own laws about not providing aid to other countries whilst they're doing grave human rights violations. No, we should be. And also the freaking fact, I'm sorry, the fact that there's not enough money, that we're cutting SNAP benefits, we're cutting Medicare and Medicaid, and yet we're paying for a genocide in Gaza, and yet we're paying $25 billion for a pointless war in Iran, when we're not making sure that people who live in our own neighborhoods can eat and see the doctor when they're sick.
We don't have money for Medicaid, but we have money for bombs for schools in Iran and stuff. It's no problem. Priorities.
There's
Crazy
plenty of
thing.
money, just not for things that Americans need.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I want to ask. I do want to ask about Iran. That'll probably be
Yeah.
the last question I ask you. I do quickly just want to know, because in full disclosure, I am a staunch Ukraine defender. I'm pro-Ukraine.
Yeah.
I think recently it's been getting more popular among Democrats to be less pro-Ukraine. So I like to ask candidates now, do you think we should continue support with Ukraine? Where do you fall on that?
It's becoming more popular with Democrats to not support Ukraine.
Yeah, in candidates I interview, I get more and more answers of, we shouldn't be giving money to Ukraine either, this kind of thing. NATO can do it. I don't know. I think the Trump lines are working on people somewhat. But
It's freaking insane. Yeah. So no, I strongly support Ukraine's right to defend itself against Russia's invasion. Ukraine is defending its sovereignty and its democracy and its people from an illegal authoritarian war that Vladimir Putin launched, right? And the fact that one of the most mind-boggling things about being alive in that whatever weird messed up timeline it is that we're living in right now is this fact that somehow Republicans and now apparently some Democrats have forgotten that no, Vladimir Putin has always been our enemy. There's this cozying up to authoritarian dictators. I'm wait, what
are we doing?
What is happening? And every time that we don't say out loud, every time Donald Trump tweets something or cozies up to Putin and Kim Jong-un, every time that we don't absolutely lose our minds of the insanity of this all, I feel like we're all culpable of Satan washing this. And so just having a moment to be I cannot believe that people are forgetting that Vladimir Putin is a authoritarian dictator who illegally invaded Ukraine, and the Ukrainian people are just trying to defend themselves. And yeah, so sorry that that's a thing that people can't remember
Putin,
anymore.
who is also plausibly accused of genocide in the ICJ, mind you, by the way, but I digress. But yeah, on to Iran. The last question I'll have for you. We've spent tens of billions. It's like a billion or 2 billion every day. 13 Americans have died. We bombed a school on day one. We've slaughtered a lot of their civilians in the making. And it seems the objective is, like checks notes, depends on the day you ask. So what are your thoughts on the war, on him doing this without Congress? And how do we claw back power to prevent this from happening going forward?
Yeah. Um, it's just insanity. Like the entire thing is insanity. And the the thing that smacks of this irony for me is this like America First president, this like no more wars, no new wars president is just getting us into foreign conflicts, foreign wars, um, because it seems like he's doing Netanyahu's bidding, like because Netanyahu maybe flattered him one time, like, and so here we are. It's the most confusing, um, like cognitive dissonance of like how do we get here? Like this is, and then watching his base like reject it and lose their minds about it because they're like, wait, you said no more wars, and so that part I feel like might be breaking through to some folks. um but it's also a complete and utter failure on Congress's behalf too, right? Because they've over time ceded so much of their authority to the executive branch in general, right? Like if we really want to, I mean, this last year in the global democracy ratings, like we slid from like 24 to 38 or something
It was
very
something
close
like
to
that.
those
Yeah.
numbers if they're not exactly right. But like we're doing that because we're losing checks and balances, right? We're losing trust in our judicial system for good reason, right? Voters are losing trust in elections. Um, and so a huge part of that for me, for rebuilding the strength of our own democracy is Congress reasserting its authority to authorize the use of military force, right? Like one of the very basic things that is Congress's job. And so I think to be able to do that, we need to not only like elect, we need to elect people who aren't bought and paid for, wait for it, by corporations and special interests, right? And it all circles back because as long as politicians are working for uh, entities that can make money in war times, like
Mhm.
defense contractors and oil and gas companies, like they're going to have less of a reason to fight for what the things that actual people need. So yeah, it all comes back around.
Funny again, once again,
Yeah.
it's a full circle moment. So before I let you go, you let people know your website, social
Yeah.
media, that kind of thing, where to find you.
Yeah, audreyforcongress.com is the website. It's also the handle on all of the various social medias. Um, all of them. That's what it is. But I would love it if anybody, if you like what you heard, you want to follow along with us on social, that'd be awesome. My primary is in 34 days. I'm actually running in a special election and in the midterm at the same time because my congressman died in January. And so we're having a special election to fill his vacancy for the rest of the term. So this seat in California's first is actually the next special election up, to be able to hopefully get Democrats one more seat in the House even before November. Um, and I'm running against a fascist, authoritarian Republican who has Donald Trump's endorsement, who wants to split California in half. And I'm running against a corporate captured establishment Democrat, and both of them are middle-aged white guys who are terming out of the California state legislature and looking for their next job. And I'm not a career politician. I want to serve in communities. I want to be on the ag committee. Um, to help shape policy to make life better for folks. And if that's something that you want to help with, go to audreyforcongress.com and you can phone bank, you can text bank, you can organize with us. We're doing a big grassroots organizing program. You can donate $5, which helps me get my message out, and all that sort of stuff. So
Awesome. And yeah, for anyone interested, I'll have the website in the description. I'm sure you can find the social medias and stuff from there as well. And thank you. It was a wonderful conversation. I definitely wish you the best of luck. We need more people like you in Congress. So hopefully you do as good as you possibly could in both the special election and the midterms. And maybe as things progress in the election cycle, we could have you back on to discuss more.
I'd love that. Thanks so much.
Awesome. Yep. And enjoy your week, my friend.